Welcome back, Troglodytes, to your daily dose of guitar information, the Trogly's Guitar Show. We've got a really cool SG Custom to take a look at today. So when I think SG Custom, what comes to my mind is a white SG with gold hardware, triple pickups, and it looks like this. I don't think Batwing pickguard with two P90 pickups, but something about this is just so beautifully magnificent, I had to share it with you guys. So let's go ahead and dive in on this thing. This is what a late 60s SG Custom would look like, though typically you would still find that triple humbucker setup. So what really makes this stand out so much to me is that P90 setup. It might not seem like a big deal, but it is. But each of those pickups have an independent volume and tone control, your output jack is located right here, and you have a 3-way toggle switch right there. It doesn't look like we have any fancy electronics here, though a dummy coil under the pickguard to get rid of the 60 cycle hum could have been a nice touch. So it's a pretty basic setup here, and then you have the full-sized Batwing pickguard. That's what they call this style. They call it that because it's kind of like a bat when it spreads its wings out. But then the finish is the opposite of what you would normally expect. It's black. Now, what would you call this color? I would say something like ebony. The official color is lamp black. I don't know if I would compare lamps to guitars, because this guitar is much cooler than that. And it's the gold hardware that really pops out and makes the black finish work. So that leads us to the tremolo unit here. It's a Gibson Maestro unit. Now, I haven't had great luck with these things. Maybe the custom shop ones are better, but they look so cool, especially with the walrus tooth bar. And we have the historically correct ABR1 bridge. But since this SG Custom is kind of the opposite of what you would normally think, this is actually channeling one of my favorite Les Paul customs, the 54 Custom. And this SG Custom would have been infinitely cooler had they had done a staple pickup, the Alnico 5 in the neck, just like the 54 Customs. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and say it. The seller, you need to replace that neck pickup and it'll sell way faster. But other than that, unfortunately, this one was made in the Richlight era. A lot of people are going to look down upon this and not want to pay top dollar for it just because of that, especially since Gibson's back to using ebony. I've had Richlight on a bunch of Gibsons. Is it really as bad as some people make it out to be? No, but it really does come down to tradition. And on a custom shop guitar, personally it doesn't make sense, but I think within the Gibson USA lineup it does. You can check out that Michael Clifford signature Melody Maker for an example of that. But moving on to the top of the headstock here, you get the Gibson Custom Overlay, which is just a beautiful thing in itself. And it's still technically a Les Paul Custom, even though that was only that way until 1963. And this one's clearly based on a later SG, so it's a little bit confusing in that aspect, but that makes me just love it even more. So if you're interested in this guitar, it is offered for sale on reverb.com. I'll throw a link in the description for you to check it out. But it's GAK in the United Kingdom that's selling this, and they are asking $4,571.43. Why is that a funny price point? Well, that's because it's been converted to US dollars. Unfortunately, there wasn't a playing demo of this one, but let's go ahead and take a listen to another SG with P90 pickups. I surprised myself. GAK actually made a video about this guitar, but then they proceeded to not play it. So here's a different P90 SG. The only question left, would you rock the lamp black P90 equipped SG Custom or not? Leave your answer down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.